What happens effectively is that when you don't have something
bring us 2 absolute martinis. You know how I like them, straight up. And then precisely 7 1/2 minutes after that, you're gonna bring us 2 more. Then 2 more after that every 5 minutes until one of us passes the fuck out.
It's up to each and every one of you, my highly trained Stratonites, my killers who will not take no for an answer. Not hang up the phone until their client either buys or fucking
Well. GM. G. To the L. Morning, my friends. Fucking drooling over myself. I'm all excited over here. What the hell? Ladies and gentlemen, DJs, Diamond Hand fam, Forge and Fuel crew, super soldiers, 1%ers, pioneers, pivoters, pursuers, builders, brothers and sisters, hermanos y hermanas, mamas y papas, anyone I may have left out and anyone in between. Welcome back. And welcome into the best way to start your day. It's time to get fired up at Forge and Fuel. Baby.
Woo!
Whoa!
Woo!
Whoa!
Woo!
Whoa! Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah!
That's right, my friends. Here we are, back live in prime time on your 699th episode of Forge and Fuel. That's right, the big 699 on this terrific Tuesday morning. No jokes here. It's April Fool's, the first day of April 2025. A new month has begun, and I hope you're ready to come alive, because we have now started the second quarter of the year 2025, and boy, oh boy. Damn, I forgot we had that on the soundboard. Woo, what a great day to play that. Shout out to you, DEEZYY. Great time to mention my man, your guy, the one and only Derek DZ Snow, Mr. Producer of this program, the lightweight slanging, iron pumping. Hey! Bowling ball bench pressing, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend. If you need to whip your ass back into shape physically, or maybe you just need a little nutritional help, whatever it might be, hit up my guy, DEEZYY, and he'll get you back on the right track. Yeah, buddy. Shout out DEEZYY. Great to see you down there, my guy. Kicking off the show with all these beautiful humming beans over there live in the chat. Shout out to each and every one of you. Getting your day started the right way here at FNF, baby. But before we proceed, and maybe you don't know, you won't know, but I am your humbled, honored, and clearly always hyped host, Colton Capp Soroka. And I can't thank you enough for choosing to stop by, hang out with me and my guy, and dive down some motivational and inspirational rabbit holes unlike any other. Now, my friends, before we can go any further, before we can officially dive in on this April Fool's Day, I must humbly ask you to all do a quick thing. If you haven't already, and you can find it in that big old heart of yours to do so, maybe you could take just a brief moment to smash that subscribe button on whatever platform you are currently ingesting the Forge and Fuel podcast on. If you are watching on YouTube, you might as well also crush that notification bell. Located right over yonder, here as well, right next to that subscribe button, so you never miss the start of a live show or any additional content dropping here on the platform. And if you're enjoying this morning's program, maybe you could hit that like button over in this direction somewhere, maybe like right here. That way you can help that algo go and flow on the old tube of the U variety. But maybe you don't like the tube. Maybe you like a little more censorship-free platform like the RUMBLE. That's right, I used to be in those spelling bees. So if you don't know what that spells, that's Rumble, my friends. And if you're over there, maybe you could smash the subscribe button. Maybe turn on a notification bell. And maybe even hit a like button as well and help that old algo go and flow on the Rumble. But maybe you don't like either one of those platforms. Maybe your viewing platform of pleasure is the old X app, the everything app, the future of the internet. And if that is the case, you're tuning into FNF over there, maybe you could smash a heart, maybe hit a repost, hell, even crush a quote post, and let the people know on your X timeline why you've decided to tune in live in prime time to Forge and Fuel this morning. And last, but certainly not least, if you're listening to this podcast on your favorite podcast directory, like Apple, Amazon, or maybe even watching along on Spotify, maybe you could take a moment to leave us a 5-star rating, hit that follow button,
Or in all honesty, just take a moment to smash the shit out of whatever button you see on your screen, because it only helps us continue to grow and flow on all those platforms as well. Nah, man.
Shout out all you beautiful humming beings tapped in, tuned in, locked in live in prime time that have already helped that algo go and flow by smashing the proverbial shit out of those buttons this morning. But maybe you haven't. Maybe you're sitting there saying, hey, whoa. I just tuned into the show to get some motivation and inspiration. I didn't know I had to do all this work. What type of nonsense is this? I don't want to mess up my algo. Jeepers creepers. I just like tuning in, but I want some other stuff in my algorithm. Well,
be rude.
This ain't gonna mess up your algorithm. As 45 and 47 just said, don't be rude. This is our job. We're here to provide you motivation, inspiration, and good vibration like you've never felt before. So the least you could do for us to keep bringing more in store for each and every one of you, you could hit all those aforementioned buttons. Because maybe this show makes you laugh. Maybe this show makes you cry. Maybe this show makes you think. Maybe it makes you go, I never thought of it that way before. And if so, don't be a hoe, share the show, be a friend, tell a friend, let somebody know, and we will proceed with this morning's program. That's right, my friends. Pull it up, double park it, parallel it, whatever you need to do. Get your proverbial vehicle of life into these lanes, my friends, up in the Forge and Fuel parking lot, my friends, because we got one hell of a show on tap for you here today. No matter what you might be doing, maybe you're just starting the day. Maybe this is your alarm clock. Maybe you are just... Maybe you're just grabbing that first cup of Java. Ooh. Maybe you're hydrating. Yeah. Whoa. Maybe you're hydrating before you caffeinate. You got a nice cup of water. Oh, that's nice. Oh, maybe you've already had your first few sips, and now you're picking out your outfit of the day. You're finding them undies and them tube socks, baby. Maybe you're picking out your outfit in the closet looking for those,
khakis.
And maybe one of them red polos. Who's to say, who's to know? Maybe you're getting squeaky clean and you got us on your Bluetooth speaker and you can hear me now as you're beginning to have the suds all over your body. Maybe you're outside of that. Maybe you're outside of your house. Maybe you've already completed your morning missions and now you're locked inside your vehicular device, whipping and drifting down through that rush hour traffic with those imaginary lines separating all those other crazies speeding at you at 80 miles plus per hour. Maybe you've made it through that and you're locked into the four walls of your cubicle and you got us set right up here on the side and you're saying, oh my gosh, Cap, I don't know. I got all these emails and the voicemail red light is blinking on my phone and I got notes everywhere. What do I do? Well, maybe just relax, take a deep breath and realize that you got this show to help you get in the right zone and catch a flow on this terrific Tuesday morning. That sounds like something you could use, my friends. Well, do we got one on tap for you? And without any further hesitation or delay, we might as well get right into your morning laughs, baby. Woo! My friends, as per usual, we have, sorry, my decorations were falling all over the place. We have not one, not two, but three morning laughs coming your way on this TERRIFIC Tuesday. Morning laugh number one, my friends, features a young man who is here to prove to us that maybe we have been doing something, a pastime, a favorite activity of many of ours, entirely wrong. Maybe like me, you grew up as your dad's fishing buddy. Maybe you would go crappie fishing and bluegill and the bass and them walleye, and maybe you got up to Canada every once in a while, went after them muskie, or them great northern pike. Who's to say, who's to know, but maybe you fancy yourself a fisherman. And if so, this first clip this morning, my friends, is a subtle reminder, or maybe a dose of education on the fact that we have been fishing entirely wrong our entire damn lives. Morning laugh number 1, D's. Roll that bad boy.
You call for the fish.
All right, here's your how-to step-by-step. First of all, you pull your britches up, zip your zipper up. Second of all, take this thumb, you make kind of like a halfway heart shape. You take this other thumb, put it directly on your nail, sort of in a crisscross way. You go up to your knuckle. All right, so that way your 2 knuckles are touching. You come over and you trap the air in. All right, you get down real low. This is how you call to him. Come here, fishy. Fishy, fishy, fishy. Come here.
Bruh. You know, that reminds me of my moose call. You know, if you ever find yourself up in Canada or one of the great states where we have some moose or moose-eye or whatever the plural of meese is, who's to say, who's to know, you can also, very similarly, thumbs crossed, pinkies crossed, and then all of those come together, and you go, here, moosey, 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 moosey! Bruh. And most likely those moosies will come running right to you. Who's to say, who's to know? Here, moosey, 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 moosey! Who's to say, who's to know? All of a sudden I got a fucking moose just bulldozes through and takes everything out. Could you imagine? There's your morning laugh number 1. Maybe you've been calling to the fish all wrong. Here, fishy, fishy, fish. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. Who's to say, who's to know? We stick with the aminal vibe as we start off this show. And we go from saying hi to some fish to saying hello to Fido. Yes, that's right, my friends. Man's best friend here this morning to remind us that allergy season is right around the corner. Roll that, D.
Hey, Kelly. Kelly.
No.
He's in his drink. Right in his mimosa.
Oh my goodness, what a big sneeze. Poor little buddy. Raven, are you okay?
Huh? Willow? You gotta sneeze?
You got it?
Who knew dogs sneezing could be so enjoyable? Those got to be my favorite. Oh, who's to say, who's to know? Maybe your reminder to pick up some Zoloft or Zicam or I don't even know. I don't really deal with allergies, so I don't even know what the hell other stuff there is out there, but maybe you're starting to deal with it. Allergy season right around the bend. The old pollen starts to go up, as they say. Who's to know? Maybe they're just spraying extra metals in our skies. I don't know. Maybe that's... Oh, I'm on the wrong show. Okay. Oh, third morning laugh of the day. Before we go down that red pill rabbit hole, my friends, is a high quality vidya here. See, no animals featured in this vidya, but there is a humming bean coming straight our way with a special delivery. Please run that again. Oh my. his little foot up. That's right here. Oh, goodness gracious. Just 30 seconds of joy right there. Oh, I don't know why, but that gets me. Whoo, that gets me. Oh, a special delivery. Who's to say? Who's to know? Well, my friends, now you know how to call fish. Maybe as the weather starts to warm up, it's time for you to get them poles dusted off and get out there and start casting a few lines. And now you know how to bring them fishies right to you. Maybe you got yourself a reminder that allergy season is around the corner, not only for you, but for your furry friend. And also, maybe if you see somebody whipping around on a vehicular device just like that, you might want to get out of the way because they might have a special delivery coming straight to you, baby. But my friends, there are your 3 morning laughs of this fine morning program. And you might ask yourself, why do we begin that way? Why do we start off with laughs here on this show? Well, a great man said many, many years ago, actually in his 1997 ESPY speech, that in order to have a full day, you got to laugh, you got to cry, and you got to think. And that man was the great Jim Valvano. And I like to deliberately, if you will, check that first box. Make sure you get a little laugh, a little chuckle. You start feeling real good inside before we dive deep down into the motivational and inspirational rabbit holes, because sometimes it gets a little hot and heavy. Sometimes the notes are just flowing every which direction. So we like to start it a little simpler and let you know, hey, we're average humming beings just like you. Well, not average. We're above average humming beings, just like you, putting our legs in our pants the same way you do every single morning. So we ain't all buttoned up and all fancy and we got all these big words to confuse you. No. And we won't be sharing the same things that you hear on any other show. So my friends, now that we have proverbially checked that first box, there are 2 more boxes that remain. We must think and we must cry. Well, maybe you laughed so hard, you had your emotions move to tears. You're already doing a little crying. But maybe you need a little motivational, inspirational stirring of the soul. And maybe that moves your thoughts to tears. Whatever it might be, I promise thee, over the course of the next hour or so, we're going to work on checking those 2 boxes. Don't you know? And if you don't know, you won't know. It appears to me that it is time, friends and family, to get this show underway, to get this proverbial show train steaming on down the tracks. Baby. And if you're ready for a little high-level thoughts, some perspective, getting that mindset back on the right track, well, rip out yourself a notebook, a pen, or a pencil. I got myself a little lava pen right here. I mean, look at this thing. Just I got me a little lava pen. You see this? I don't know what it is about. And it writes so doggone smooth. I tell you what, I mean, it's just, I write a little hello. Look how smooth that thing writes. I mean, that is just that. Oh boy, I tell you what, I got me some note-taking devices. Hope you do too. Whatever you need to keep track of the knowledge and insights about to come your way, because my friends, it's time to get into your first segment of the day. Time to get that mindset sharpened up and start thinking again in the right way as we get into segment number 1. It's time for your sharpening session. righty then, my friends. Here we are back live in prime time. Thought I rolled over the cat there. That was just the chair. Okay, whew. Sure I didn't want to roll over no doggone tail or anything. She has a habit for doing that. Well, my friends, here we are back live in prime time on your first segment of the day. It's time for your sharpening session here on episode 699 of Forge and Fuel, baby. And this morning, we got a nice little topic to start off with. And if you didn't read the title of the show, you may not know where we're about to go. If you didn't see the thumbnail of the day, you might have no clue what I'm about to say. So let me get you all the way up to date before we conversate on your opening topic of you're not in the universe, you're of it. You're not in the universe, you're of it. And this morning, my friends, I must preface this by saying these are some real high-level thoughts. These are some super soldier, 1%er, nobody else thinks this way type of mindset. And my friends, we are going to go back down into the energy, frequency, and vibration rabbit hole. The E, F, and V. Shout out my man Ken Buckler if you're out there tuning in live in prime time this morning, my man. You just might hear something and you might look at this screen and you might just say, holy shit, the kid gets it. Because my friends, I've been going down some rabbit holes in regards to this. And as you know, I have really been connecting with our creator, God, the one, him, whatever you want to refer to. And I've kept coming across this little phrase. And the phrase is, we are made in the image of God. We are made in the image of God. And did you know over 36 times in the Bible, it says we are made in the image of God. 36 times plus in the basic instructions before leaving Earth. Not some Catholic, not Lutheran, not Methodist, non-agnostic, none of that. In the basic instructions before leaving Earth, 36 times, it tells us that we are made in the image of God, in the image of the Creator. Now, I'm not going to Bible beat you here this morning and throw verses at you and toss it over your head, but I wanted to say that to preface where we're about to go. Because if over 36 times it's trying to get us to understand that we are made in the image of God, maybe there's more to the story we're supposed to understand. See, where are we right now? Earth, the flat plane, the floating rock, whatever you think of it as. We are in the universe, floating through the cosmos, if you believe that, at thousands of miles an hour, yet we feel no rotation, no spin, no nothing. Yeah, good luck, whatever. But let's just call it the universe, right? We're in the universe. But are we really in the universe? Because if it tells us 36 times that we're made in the image of the Creator, then wouldn't that mean that we're not in the universe? Rather, we're of the universe. Have you ever sat and thought about that for a moment? That the universe is not happening to us, the universe is happening through us. And we have the ability to add to the infinite equation that is our universe. So what does this mean? What does it mean being of the universe and not just simply in it? Well, it means that you're not a pawn. You're not just moving about on the chessboard of this life. Rather, you create the entire game and move all of the pieces. The things that you desire, the things that you want to bring into existence. If you haven't ever looked into it, the root word of desire is desire, of the Father. Desire is a straight thought, perspective, gift right from the Father. And if you know that, that means it's already been created. That means that the thing that you want, you need, you have every ounce of your being working to bring it into existence, it already exists. It's already of the universe because the creator has given it to you, and you are of the universe to utilize your tools to bring things into existence. Past, present, and future, they all exist for us, right? We get lost looking at the past and what we've done and what we could have done better. We get anxiety thinking about the future and, oh no, what might come. Sometimes we even get worried in the present moment. Well, what if I told you that past, present, and future are all a culmination of right now? And that past, present, and future does not exist to him. Rather, he has already created the thing. It is already out there in the world. It already exists in the equation of our universe. You just have to be willing to take the action to write the equation to bring it into reality. We all have the ability to write these equations. We're not just floating through the universe. We are of it. It is not happening to us. It is happening through us. So what can you do with this information? With the knowledge that you are of the universe, you have the ability to infinitely add to the equation because it already exists. Well, number one, you focus your energy on the things you need. Not the things you want, but the things you need. The things that fire you up, get you passionate. That little flame on the inside that you can't stop thinking about. Go dump some gasoline on it. Turn it into an enraging fire. Put all of your energy, your effort, total commitment to that one thing. Every ounce of your energy is spent on that thing. Not on the negative, not on the haters, not on the could, shoulds, woulds, not on the possibilities, but on the right now and the probabilities. And then as you begin to focus all that energy, all that attention, knowing that you have the ability to do this, you begin to build momentum by tuning in your frequency. And what is your frequency? The things you frequently see, the books you read, the shows you watch, the people you surround yourself with, how you speak to yourself, what you visualize, all those things set your frequency. And if you take your energy and focus it all on the good things of that frequency, you begin to tune in that dial, then all of a sudden you begin to vibrate on the same waves that these things already are on. I've said it ad nauseum. Those things already exist. You just have to clear the path to get to them. That's what this is, clearing the path. Clearing the path is understanding that you are not in the universe. You are of it. And that time, past, present, and future, none of it matters because we are right here and now. And that now is gone and this now is here. There really isn't even present. What's the present moment? That's just a way for us to understand that we're here now. What if this world is not an infinite series of yes and no? Binary code 1, 0, flip the light switch on, flip the light switch off. What if this universe is an infinite series of maybes? And as the only being in the universe to turn the chaos into order, it is your job to show up each and every day trying to figure out what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to attain, what next level you're supposed to go to. And if you find that relationship with your creator, you find that earnest, I want to know what you want me to do, those desires that I spoke of will hit your heart. But you got to know something about this whole thing. That it not being yes and no, it being maybes, you have the ability to collapse those infinite maybes into a single point of now. So what's the lie that they all tell us? They tell us that this life is exactly that. A decision of yes and no. Do this, don't do that. Be this, don't be that. Try this, don't try that. But what if I told you that it's not just one channel playing, rather, it is multiple channels playing, and it is your job to tune into that frequency. And as the only beings on this planet that can turn chaos into order, we can retune that frequency at any time by changing the things we frequently see, by changing where our energy is going and flowing. We will eventually vibrate on the right track, and then the path will literally clear itself. But if you are not of this mindset, if you are utilizing your energy to worry about all the bad things, to focus on where you have not rather than what you could have, you're never going to get to the have. If you can't be grateful for what you have now, what makes you think you're going to be grateful for more in the future? And this whole mindset is where my quote a little earlier on over the weekend, I think I posted it out. You must walk as the prince in order to receive the king's crown. You must vibrate on that frequency, walk the path, stand tall as if they've already cut that check. You've already shook that hand. That thing is already into reality because it already does exist. It just doesn't exist on our plane. But again, you've been given the thought. You've been given the burning desire, not for me, but for this entire world, for you, for your community, for your family. Go after those things. And most people won't take that leap of faith because of one specific reason. Because of money. Because they don't know if they'll be able to make ends meet. They don't know if they'll be able to pay bills. They don't know if their needs will be met. But I'm here to tell you this morning, my friends, if you buy into this mindset, if you release control of the universe and trying to make everything go the perfect way, and you stop letting the universe happen to you, and you begin to make the universe happen through you, you will start to see that maybe money doesn't matter. Maybe it is just a vehicle to help us continue living, and maybe money is of this world, and these mindsets are not of this world. Maybe the creator who put you here is not of this world. Maybe you need to realize that your focus needs to be fixed on the things not here. I told the story of the three princes walking down the path. First prince, let me preface it if you didn't hear it. As king was getting ready to leave the throne, and he sent out a message to three princes. He says, hey, anybody can walk in a straight line from where they are right to my kingdom. I will give you the throne. I'm out of here. Three princes go, oh, come on, baby. Prince number one, he says, here's what I'll do. I'll keep my focus on the path. I'll watch every step. I'll make sure everything I'm doing is good because I can do this myself. And as he walks down the path and he watches his feet every step, he looks back and he realizes he's veered way off the path. He found another path and he started following that, and he, what the hell? And he never found the path again. The second prince was walking down the path and he decided, I can't look at my feet. Let me pay attention to what everybody else and everything else is doing. I'll look left, I'll look right, I'll look up, I'll look down. Let me make sure if I look left and right fast enough on the path and take stock of everything going on, I'll be sure that I won't ever veer off the path. And then all of a sudden he looked back and he realized he had veered way off to the right. He was way off the path and he was paying attention to everything and everybody else around him. And he thought by paying attention to his surroundings, that would get him somewhere. And the third prince, he gets on the path from where he's at, and he sees the kingdom out in the distance. And he sees this light way up on top of the kingdom in the king's chambers. And he says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to focus on that light. Forget the path. Forget what I'm doing. I already know I have the ability to walk there. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing, whatever the hell the scenery is. Forget that. My goal is the kingdom. And I'm going to keep my eyes on that light. And he just kept walking down the path, and eventually that light was right in front of him, and there he was with the kingdom. And the king, shocked, looks at him. He says, well, how did you do that? There's no way, that was impossible. And the prince looked at him and smiled and said, I just followed the light. That's all it is. If you feel like you can't control this life, if you feel like you're missing the mark, well, maybe it's time to stop controlling it so much. Maybe it's time to release control and say, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no ability to make money. I have no ability to accomplish anything. I have no ability to do anything without you. So I release control, and whatever you want me to do, show me what you want me to do. And my friends, I'm here to tell you that things will start to happen in your life that you didn't even expect. The bills that were most likely not going to get paid, all of a sudden you have the exact amount that you need to cover them. The opportunity that you thought was never going to come your way, all of a sudden the door opened with ease. And you've been pulling and yanking and going and you let control go, and you realize it was a push door the whole damn time. And you've been just fucking yanking on it. Come on, open! I want it! I know I can do this! I'm the best version of me! But you can't open that door. Maybe you're not the best version of you. Maybe you don't have that energy, frequency, and vibration exactly where it needs to be. And maybe you need to get in touch with that before that door can just whoosh right open. So, my friends, this morning, I want you to know that you are not in this universe. You are of it. This universe, this world, this life is not happening to you. It is happening through you. And if you don't believe me, think about this fact. You won the 400 trillion to 1 lottery just to populate this flat plane or floating rock we call Earth, whatever you view it as. I don't give a damn. I know the truth. Whatever helps you sleep at night. With that fact, how are we not of this universe? How were we not put here for a reason? How do we all not have a purpose? And maybe that purpose is a 9-to-5. Maybe that purpose is being a boss, being a manager, whatever it is, being an entrepreneur. Whatever it is for you, it's not going to be the same for anybody else. So set your energy, set your intention, be fully committed to that thing. Set your frequencies right, dial in, tune in, the things you frequently see, and watch your vibrations begin to just carry you. Literally just float you right to the things that you need. And that's the big kicker. The things you need, not the things you want, not the $1 million check, not the fast car, not the house, the women, the jewelry, all the shit. No. That's what you want. If you go after what you need and you put your full ass into what you need and what you're supposed to do, you can feel it. You know what you're supposed to do. Then those things you want will be a bonus and a benefit from achieving the things you need. And when you get those things you want, you better remember how you got them. And you better use those assets to help others who are doing the same things that maybe you did. Who's to say, who's to know, my friends? You're not in this universe. You're of it. Huh! What do you know about that? A little something there for you. Get them thoughts stirring, perspective going and flowing. Hopefully you're understanding that this whole manifestation, visualization deal is a lot easier. Hopefully you're starting to understand. Hopefully some dots being proverbially connected this morning. And maybe, just maybe, this comes from some research I've been doing, some things I've been thinking about. I've been trying to just find the secrets, find the truth. What are we here for? What's the purpose? What's the meaning? That's what everybody's looking for. So why wouldn't I do some research and rack my brain, make it simple, and bring it to you here? maybe I'll be making some other content. Maybe there'll be a additional part series on social media, breaking this whole thing down even deeper. And maybe I found a video last night as I was doing more research, and I reached out to a good friend of ours, one from the land down under, and I said, hey, what the hell do you know about this? And he says, oh, well, you found the next secret, huh? I said, well, you Sumerian son of a gun. You've been holding out on me the whole doggone time. What type of bullshit is this? So then I go down a rabbit hole and I find out even more about the secret station. So who's to say, who's to know what might just be coming your way? But I just had those thoughts burning on the brain, melting on the heart, festering on the soul. So I hope you enjoyed them. Bye-bye.
He's beginning to believe.
Who's to say, who's to know? But my friends, there is your first segment of this show. Hope you got some good notes. Hope those thoughts are stirring. Hope you got some things burning on the brain, melting on the heart, festering deep down on the soul. Well, if not, that's okay, because we got plenty more show coming your way. It's not just a one segment up, in, and out of here. No. We got 2 more segments coming your way. So my friends, don't go nowhere. Strap in, tap in, lock in. Keep them notebooks and them pens or pencils by your side as we slide into your second segment of the day. Friends and family, it's time for your Reaction Refinery. Okie doke, artichokes. Here we are back live in prime time on your 699th episode of Forge and Fuel. Here on this first day of April, April the 1st, 2025. And I hope you're ready to keep coming alive, because we got plenty more vibes coming your way on this terrific Tuesday. So without any further hesitation or delay, let's get right into your 1, 2, 3, and 4 clips of your Reaction Refinery. Clip number 1 features a man we all know. A man whose app we all regularly go. That is the X app. He is the one and only Elon Musk. And this morning, Elon joins us from a podcast with the one and only Ted Cruz. I believe that's Ted Cruz. I think that's who that is. I'm pretty sure it's Ted Cruz. If it's not, whoopsie daisy. Oh, man, maybe it's not Ted Cruz now. I'm not good with politicians. It's all a fucking game. 2 wings, same bird. Fuck them all. However, Elon Musk joins us this morning to give us a dash of perspective on work-life balance.
How much do you sleep in a given night?
About 6 hours on average.
So about 6. So that's, it wouldn't have shocked me if you said 3 or 4.
So the next question is, how many hours do you work a day?
I work almost every waking hour.
And Ben, he's not kidding at that.
Yeah.
Like when Elon and I were first getting to know each other, I said, hey, let's grab dinner sometime. And I don't know if you remember what you said. You said, I don't eat dinner.
I don't have social dinners, really.
Right. I mean, you obviously eat food, but
yes.
the idea of like,
you're not going to a restaurant for 2 hours.
But the idea of like, I don't, but it was just kind of matter of fact. Why would I go to dinner? Like you work.
Yeah. I literally just I'll have lunch and dinner brought during meetings and continue the meeting.
If that sounds crazy to you, well, you might be crazy. If that sounds insane to you, maybe you got some work to do. Because, my friends, I chose that very specifically to segue off of the opening topic of the day, because that's the level of consistent commitment that I'm talking about. 24/7, 365, tapped in to what you believe in, to what you want to bring into existence, to what God has put on your heart to make into reality. You have the ability, but are you spending the right time? Are you playing video games? You're not locked in. Quit fucking around. Are you watching Netflix? You're not locked in. Quit fucking around. Are you worried about March Madness? You're not locked in. Quit fucking around. Are you worried about April Fool's Day and playing some fucking prank? You're not locked in. Quit fucking around. You can ask DZ. I get up at 5:30 every morning to get an hour of prayer, meditation, get my mind right, hear what I need to do. I promise you, it works. You can think I'm crazy. It's some woo-woo. It ain't no woo-woo stuff. And then from the moment I fire this computer on at 7:30, it don't go off till 10:30, 11:30, sometimes 12:30. It was 10:30 last night, and I was throwing ideas DZ's way. Every moment I am locked into this. I'm at the gym. I'm talking to people about potential connections and things I'm doing. And hey, man, this is what I'm doing right now. Check this out. What do you think about this? Hey, what type of connections you got in that area? Oh shit, no shit. Hey man, let me get your number. Let's follow up on this a little bit later. I'm driving down the road. I fucking wave for somebody. Hey, how's it going? What's up? Oh, wait, I ain't seen you forever. What's that? What do you got? Oh, I'm doing this. Everything's locked in. The moment I get done at the gym, it's back to the grind. Answering emails, following up on calls, scheduling this show, making additional content, reaching out to people for further growth of the entire brand, making moves, making logos, following up on other calls. Every single moment, I am locked into this. I do the same thing Elon does. And, you know, it's funny. When I was kind of going through a little tumultuous time, some people said, well, you can find an extra hour. You can find this. You can find that. And I started to do that, right? I started to adjust my schedule and push shit around. And what I realized I was doing, I was pushing aside the things that I need, the things that make me wake up in the morning, the things that get me going, the things that all my energy is focused on. So how the hell can this not come into existence? I was utilizing my energy to build somebody else's dream, to do what other people wanted me to do, to focus on their energy. And when you take away your energy from what you need, you're never going to get what you need. You know, people always say, oh, you gotta do what it takes to make the dream happen. Abso-fucking-lutely. Doing what it takes to make the dream happen is keeping your energy focused on it at every single moment. And if you do, eventually something will arise. But if you are pursuing that passion and maybe the bills are getting a little tight and you stop focusing on what you do to make sure that the bills stop being tight with that passion and start focusing on another thing, then all the momentum's gone. All the shit you've done, that path you've walked, being of the universe, you're now getting out of your purpose and your path and going and doing something that you're not supposed to do. So again, release control. And I promise you, if it is meant to happen, if you are meant to do those things, if it is not a selfish desire, if you're not just doing it for money, but for a higher purpose and calling, that thing will happen. The bills will be taken care of. You will never be in need. He will never leave you or forsake you. And if you keep being let down by man, stop putting your faith in them. If you can't get the right advice from man, stop asking them. Put your faith and get advice from the one. And then show up and get after it. Now, let me tell you something. 6 hours seems like a fucking millennia when you are this dedicated and locked in. I woke up at 5:45 this morning, beat my damn alarm, sometimes 5:30, sometimes at 6. Kind of told a little white lie there. 5:36, somewhere in that ballpark. I woke up without an alarm at 5:45 this morning. And I felt what John Gaston said yesterday. God woke me up. And the first thought in my mind, go back to cover. I got another 15 minutes. 6 o'clock. I'll get to. And the moment that cover about touched my face and pulled it back over, I heard, now is your time, son. So, oh, yes, God, you got it. I'm up. I'm out. I'm ready to work. Okay. I'm not wasting the time that you have given me. So many people will hit that snooze over and over and over and over and over again. Next thing you know, it's 8 o'clock. And the 2 hours that they could have set up to get themselves in the right frame, now they're rushing around here, there, everywhere, stubbing their toe on the end table, nicking themselves shaving, spilling coffee down in front of them, and wondering why all this shit happens. Because it's a test. You're being tested. Can you see that you are off the path right now and you need to slow down and get back on the path? This is the level of commitment it takes if you want to bring dreams into reality. if you want to take the secret formula and make it work for you. Every ounce of energy, every dialing that you can into the frequency, and every single vibration you feel must be dedicated to that thing and nothing but that thing. And if you do, maybe you could have a SpaceX. Maybe you could buy X. Maybe you could have Doge. And if you're sitting there thinking right now, oh, not me, Cap. Well, you're right. You're right. But if you're thinking, oh, yeah, you know what? I fucking could. You're right. So whichever way you think, either way you want to go down a rabbit hole, you're correct. Do or do not. There is no try. Your second clip of the morning, my friends, features another high-level humming being. We've seen him on this show one time before, maybe even a few times before. I don't remember. But if you've never seen him, this will be a nice treat for you. Maybe you've seen him floating around the Insta-Slam reels. Who's to say, who's to know? He goes by the name of Dr. Arthur Brooks. And this morning, Dr. Brooks is here to give us some perspective on why we may be using our brain too much.
Our brains wrong. What happens effectively is that when you don't have something to do and your mind wanders, it turns on a set of structures in your brain called the default mode network. That's when you think about nothing. When you're feeling bored and your mind is wandering, it turns out those are the parts of your brain that you need to access questions of life's meaning. You see where I'm going with this, right? If you create an anti-boredom machine where you never access the default mode network, you're never going to be exploring questions of life's meaning. And that's what actually lies behind the mental health crisis for young people today, is that they don't, not only can they not articulate the meaning of their lives, they're not even looking. And the reason they're not even looking is they're not in the parts of the brain where they need to be to look.
I'm just giving you away the secrets of this thing called life this morning. I mean, I'm just you want the real deal Holyfield of how to bring shit into existence and start thinking the right way. Here we go. We've been at it for about an hour now, baby. I mean, this right here. You know, think about the system that has been set up. The endless. We talked about this yesterday, being locked in. Always Diamond Hand fan. Always got you guys on my mind. That just every time I open the phone, I think about you guys. Shout out to all you OGs, man. I said in the gateway last night, I don't use the word love lightly, and I love you guys, man. You hold a special place in my heart, and while I am committed and locked in and doing all this shit, I think about you guys, and I think, oh, how can I do this, and how would they react to this, and oh, they would like this, and oh, this person might like this, and oh, I'm always thinking about you guys, and you know, these distractions. The phone, the computer, the Netflix, the Xbox, the Fortnite, the you name it. It's all designed to keep us out of boredom mode. And everybody says that being bored, oh, I'm bored. Oh, how are you bored? That doesn't even make sense. If you're bored, you're boring. And it makes no sense to me at all. And I believe why so many people find boredom or say I'm bored is because they're not comfortable with themselves. They're not comfortable sitting in silence, no music, no TV, no nothing. Sometimes even just in the dark, alone with your thoughts. That's where the true knowledge is found. That's where the message of the day, you're not in the universe, you're of it, came from. I started going down rabbit holes. I was sitting and thinking and praying and just all over the map. And then all of a sudden I had this thought and I saw this clip and I thought, wait a minute, let me go back and research that. And then all of a sudden I had this 2-hour convo with Grok and started going down more rabbit holes. You know, sometimes, yeah, but we need solace. We need quiet. We need solitude. We need those moments of reflection. They're so important. And far too often we get stuck in the daily monotony. We think we can do it ourselves. We think we got it all figured out. We're taking the action. And then we realize we're far off the path. Just like the prince who was focused on himself and his footsteps and making sure he was going in a straight line. He was focused on the wrong thing. And far too often, that's what we do. We give ourselves things to stay distracted, to keep our energy away from the things we need, the things that fire us up. Why do you think the system is created the way it is? So you fall deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the bullshit. And I know this is not decoding the divide, but I need you guys to understand something very fucking clear. There is no such thing as government. It is all a Ponzi scheme. It is two wings of the same bird. And if that was false, we would already know all the information about all the assassinations. Hopefully I don't get a strike on one specific doggone platform for that. It would not be pussyfooting around playing games. It would all be exposed. We would know everything. If it wasn't controlled, God love DJT, he would have already done the things he's doing. But let's be honest. We don't really know where the money's gone. We don't really know who's involved. We don't really know. They could give us a stimulus check and they're behind the scenes pumping and printing more fucking money and we would never know. And that's the system you're worried about. That's the system you let keep you awake at night. That's the system you let dictate your emotions. You live in a world where a man won an Olympic triathlon, 2 decades later decided he was going to cut his wiener off and become a woman, killed 2 people, and then became Woman of the Year 4 months later. And that's the system you're worried about. That's the system you're bought into. Why are you not just worried about you and what you can add to the equation and how you can be one of those people who, instead of adding to the darkness and the division and the bullshit of this world that every celebrity, famous person, politician, news anchor, and everyone in between wants to add to, maybe you could take away from it and maybe you could be some sunshine, some bright blue skies in the storm clouds of this life. But not enough people are comfortable enough with themselves to do that. They don't know who they are. They don't know what makes them tick. They're not okay with looking themselves in the mirror. As soon as they turn away, they forget what they look like. My friends, forget this system. Forget always trying to use your brain. Maybe try using that sucker a little less. Who's to say, who's to know? Your third clip of this morning's show features a young lady who we've had on this program before, but it's been a few moons since we've seen her beautiful smiling face come through our door. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on the beautiful, big brain humming bean who goes by the name of Afnan Khalifa. And she is here this morning to give us a little perspective on how to become rich.
Ever be rich, and it has nothing to do with money. The rich trust their vision and doubt their fear. The poor doubt their vision and trust their fear. You think you're stuck because you don't have money. No, you're stuck because you don't trust yourself. You believe your doubts more than you believe in your dreams. Fear, it's lying to you. It's telling you to be careful, wait for the right time. What if you fail? But look around. Has doubting yourself ever made anyone successful? No. The rich get richer because they move despite fear. The poor, they let fear make their decisions. Your bank account doesn't tell me how much money you have. It tells me how much fear you've trusted in your life. So tell me, who's in charge? Your fear or your vision?
Who's in charge? Your fear or your vision? And that's what I'm talking about. Your energy all focused and committed to your vision. Not committed on the fear of, oh, I won't pay this bill. I better go get another job. I better try something. I better stop putting so much in on this because it's not paying me back. It's not giving me what I think is, oh, I'm just going to doubt it and I don't believe it. You're putting that energy in it. You're putting the energy of this is not going to happen. I need to try something else. Maybe I'll put a little half energy into this and maybe it'll eventually go. Well, if you put half-ass efforts in, all you're going to get is half-ass results. So if you're half-ass over here, half-ass there, half-ass in between, all you're going to live is a half-ass life instead of putting your full ass into the things that you believe and diving down the rabbit hole. And that's why the song of this show now is Stratonites. And you hear Jordan Belfort, or in that, Leonardo DiCaprio in that movie, in The Wolf of Wall Street, say, I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich. I'm not just talking about making money. I'm talking about becoming rich in mindset, becoming rich in energy, frequency, and vibration, becoming rich in understanding that you are not in the universe, you are of it. It is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Rich in these, no matter what your bank account says, if it is negatives and you still decide to go for the things that you want, you still decide to stand tall and jump off the cliff's edge, even though everyone around you is saying, well, you better go get a job. You better go figure this. I told you this wasn't going to work. I know this is hard. I know I'm not doing anything to help you push this forward, but you better go figure something else out. You're getting your energy gone, energy in the wrong direction. See you later. You might as well kiss that goodbye. But if you put every ounce of energy and effort and don't spend a moment in fear or doubt or wringing your hands of, I don't know, but I will, I can, this is going to happen, I promise you it will. Those bills that you can't pay, they will be taken care of. I speak from experience, my friends. The moment you let go, if you are in the negatives, but you still choose to be in the race, realize you're already in the winner's circle. I had somebody very important say this to me the other day. You choose to keep showing up, to keep grinding, to keep giving your best effort, wanting to be a 1%er, wanting to make real change in this world, despite what your bank account says. And if it ain't where you want it to be, but you still choose to do the right things, you're already in the winner's circle. You're already doing what so many others haven't. So many others have gone to the pit stops. Hell, they've even put the car back on the trailer and made it all the way back home by the time you've decided to do a few more laps. And if you can just keep doing laps, stay focused on the car, stay focused on the race, stay focused on the track, whether it's Talladega, Daytona, or somewhere in between for you, stay focused on that race, not someone else's. Not one in the future, not the next race, not the past race, this race here. All your energy goes into this. And I promise you, I speak from experience, that finish line will start to get a little more clear. Who's to say, who's to know? Shout out Afnan Khalifa. Whew. Got me fired up. These humming beans got me fired up this morning. Hot diggity dog. The last humming bean joining us, my friends, is a man who I referenced a long, long time ago. If you don't know, you won't know. But there was a specific community that a bunch of us were a part of. You know, the brews of the ether variety. I don't know if you have so vague memories of that. But there was a point in time where I was up on a stage screaming, half, because of this exact man right here and his iconic stand-up, Eddie Murphy Raw. That's right, my friends. Joining us this morning is the one and only Eddie Murphy with a dose of perspective on the fact that you know what you're supposed to do.
You know what you're supposed to do. Deep down inside, I think everybody does. A lot of people just don't go after it, you know? Like most people start out, they say, I want to be a this, but I'm going to get that to make sure I have something to fall back on. And what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for failure because you're going, there's a possibility that I'm going to fall back. And when you put that out there, then you fall back. But if you just say, hey, this is what I want to do, and you go do it, you usually get your stuff the way you want it, man. I think you know what you're supposed to do. Deep down inside, I think everybody does. A lot of people just don't go after it, you know? Like most people start out, they say, I want to be a this, but I'm going to get that to make sure I have something to fall back on. And what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for failure because you're going, there's a possibility that I'm going to fall back. And when you put that out there, then you fall back. But if you just say, hey, this is what I want to do, and you go do it, you usually get your stuff the way you want it, man.
Burn the boats. Burn the boats. There are no plan Bs. There are no option Cs. There is nothing else but the things you need. The things that you know you can bring into existence. And the only reason those things are not coming into existence is because you're giving yourself an out. You're keeping the safety nets attached. You're making sure everything is still okay for you. No matter if this fails or doesn't fail, I'm still going to be all right. Well, what if I told you if you put all your energy, your effort, and everything into that thing and it still failed, you're still going to be all right. You're still going to be okay. Because, my friends, I don't know if many of you know, but I've already started and failed in one business. I already created an entire media company and failed flat on my face in front of God and everybody. And I had an opportunity right there to pack it in. Go back to corporate America, say, I gave it the old college try. This is what they were talking about. Entrepreneurship is hard. Boy, I'm just not cut out for this. But I couldn't let the dream die. And I knew I needed to be on camera. I knew I needed to get these messages out. I knew this was my gift, my purpose, my passion, my calling, the thing that fired me up, getting other people on the same frequencies. So then I created Diamond Hand Radio, and it evolved into Diamond Hand Media Group, V1, V2, and now there's kind of this V3 going on. But I'll never stop because my energy is all focused on it. My energy is not focused anywhere else. And for a brief period, I realized my energy was focused on the things that weren't good for me, the things that God wants me to do. Maybe you're too nice. Maybe you've been given too much. Maybe you need to start utilizing the things you've been given to start building the life you've been dreaming of. You know, many of you barely know this guy. Many of you know a guy with half of his fucking head shaved off, 120 pounds soaking wet, a mental fucking wreck trying to figure his fucking life out. And unfortunately, some of you saw me get taken advantage through that. Some of you saw me be used and whipped and thrown around like a doggone sack of potatoes. And it's just because I held so many people in high esteem, high regard, that maybe didn't hold me in the same esteem and regard. And as I begin to look back, I realized that we've done this. We've done this together. I've shown up every day. You guys have supported me. We've stayed on the consistent, persistent path. We've done the right things. Our energy is focused. And if we could just focus that energy a little bit more, all of us tune in just a little bit more, realizing how much is actually possible, I promise you, my friends, we're next up. We're the ones that are right there ready to cross the finish line. And whatever that means, wherever that goes, I got a vision. I got a purpose. Those very close to me know the exact reason why I'm doing this. And it's not to be seen. It's not to be famous and be a celebrity and up in bright lights. I could give a damn about that. I'm doing this to be able to disappear and to create a better future for those who have created my future now, my current now, my present, and ensure that my future generations are taken care of as well. That's why I do this each and every day, because I know what I need to do. I don't doubt it anymore. I don't question it. I don't try to do things that I'm not supposed to do just because I need a little bit of money. If I do the things that I know I'm supposed to do, then magically that money comes. Magically the bills get paid. And not what I want, not the $100,000 check, not the $1 million deal, but my needs are met. I'm taken care of. I have no worries. I can breathe deep every day. I got another chance to walk on this flat plane, this floating rock, and make an impact, make a difference, make a change. And if you don't know what that impact, that change, that difference needs to be, well, just take some time to look in the mirror. Take some time to see if you're happy with you. Take some time to see what maybe you might need to do. Because I'm telling you, my friends, far too often we hear these messages, we get in these mindsets, and then we get stuck in the daily monotony and we forget all of it. Well, if you do that, you are like a person who looks themselves in the mirror, and the moment they turn away, they forget what they look like. Is that you? Do you forget what you look like? You know, it was interesting. Me and DZ had kind of an interesting conversation a few weeks back of, you know, sometimes you get stuck feeling like you're still that 18-year-old kid, right? We're 29, he's 33. You know, when you haven't gone to the certain levels of life that you know you're supposed to go to, you start to think that you're only destined to be stuck in these levels of life. But that's just the growth phase. And many people do revert back. They go back to their hometown. They don't chase their goals. They don't try to do things that make them uncomfortable in a better version of them. So then they just get stuck in that 18-year-old mindset. It's why the people, if you did move out of your hometown, when you go back to your hometown, the people you left are still talking about the same fucking shit you were talking about 20 years ago when you guys were in high school together, 30, 40, 50 years ago. Tell me that's not the truth. Because not enough people continue to grasp on to what they know they need, to know what they're supposed to do. And you find that by dialing that frequency. You know it. The best version of you is clearing his or her throat in the room over. You feel that. You know it. You know when you're on the wrong path, you're doing wrong. And if you don't, you're just not paying attention. You just don't give a fuck. Why not give a fuck? You have this life. You have endless opportunities. Why not go after it? Why not give it your best effort? You know what you need to do. Dial in that frequency. Put every ounce of energy you have into it. I promise you, you will not run out of energy if you tap into the resource. The energy will abundant. You will not be tired. You will be inspired. And eventually, the vibrations that you are emanating will clear the path. And you will find that you are on the waves of exactly what you've been chasing after. And then once you get to that spot, you remember why you get to that spot. And then you wash, rinse, and repeat. And you just do the same doggone thing. But here's the deal. When people get to that level, that's when they pack it in. They make the little bit of money. They got no financial worries. You know, there's a saying among fighters. It's hard to get up and go train when you're sleeping in satin pajamas. It's hard to get up and go spar when you got silk bed sheets. But when you're sleeping on a couple of concrete cinder blocks with a doggone what resembles a mattress laid over the top of them with no blanket, it's easy to go and grind then. So when you do achieve the things that you're going after, when it does happen because you don't have doubt, remember that you still got to grind. You still got to learn. You don't know everything. And maybe you just might be able to reach a new level of life. Who's to say, who's to know? There's my thoughts on that clip of the show. Shout out to Eddie Murphy, Afnan Khalifa, Dr. Arthur Brooks, and the one and only Elon Musk for some high-level perspective here this morning on your reaction Refinery. Well, my friends, we are 20 minutes after the top of the hour. It's time to dive into that live chat. See what you beautiful humming beings have got to say on this terrific Tuesday. So without any further hesitation or delay, let's get out that final arrow from the quiver, knock it up and draw it back and send it your way because it's time for your answers from the Anvil. Alrighty then, my friends. Here we are back live in prime time for your third and final segment of the day, your answers from the Anvil, here on episode 699 of Forge and Fuel, baby. On this terrific Tuesday morning, April the 1st, 2025, and I hope you've been coming alive. Speaking of, that doggone chat has been alive all morning long. I've been seeing old faces, new faces, all types of faces up in his places. So without any further hesitations, let's slide on over into that chat. D double E Z double Y. Shift me up, my guy. Who do we got out there this morning? Oh, the one and only Mr. Ken Buckler, our friends over there at Radio Free Hub City Live. Mr. Ken and the beautiful Miss BB and the beautiful Mrs. Buckler, if you're tuning in this morning too. LFG, great morning, all. Hope you enjoyed the message, Ken. Hope you see that I'm seeing it. Who's to say, who's to know? EF and V, my brother. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you, Ken. I just got to say in front of everybody, you hold a special place in my heart, my man. You're a special man, and I'm forever grateful that our paths crossed. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. Delta 24 and Donnie GM, everybody. Are you chicken suckers ready? Oh, you better believe it. I love that the chicken sucker is just sticking. I mean, that makes me smile every single morning. Shout out to you, Ed Donnie. Great to see you as per usual. Our girl Slugbug, live from the STL. Great morning, Slugbug. Hope you, the babies, and all the fam bam are having a solid start to the day, baby. Great morning to you, sweet hot. Appreciate you sliding in. Angel SD, Mr. Peguero. Que paso, patrone, way? How you doing, papa? Great morning, F&F crew. Great morning to you, pa. Hope you're crushing that day out there on the specific side of things, baby. Grammy P, roll out the red carpet. The queen is in the building. GP, great Tuesday, family. Best way to start your day. Blessings to all. Blessings right back your way, GP. She might not be here right now. Might be on her way to Kiwanian Club or at Kiwanian Club. So shout out to all of the Kiwanians. We love you and we appreciate you. Shout out to you, GP. Udabomb.com. Dimitri Liakos, live in prime time. Great morning, D. Wishing the fam an amazing Tuesday morning. As you slay the day, try improving your interaction with others because it might be their last. You will benefit tremendously regardless. Absolutely. Could not agree more. Leave people better than you found them. How dare you have the audacity to leave somebody worse in a condition than what you found them in? Be that light. Share your smile. Say something kind. Give a compliment. What are they holding? What are they wearing? What are they doing? Compliment that thing and then go on about your life. Maybe you just stop that person from jumping off the bridge. As we've talked about that story before, the man who had the note in his pocket that said, if anybody stops me, I won't jump. And not a single person smiled at him. Not a single person looked him in the eyes. And I make it a point to where I don't let people walk past me without saying anything. And in the Chicagoland area, people love to look the other direction. When you are walking, if I'm over here and I'm walking towards somebody, they will literally start looking in the other direction and try and not, any way they can, make eye contact with me. And I will stop and look and say, hey, great morning, or great afternoon, or great evening, whatever it is, whatever time of day, and it will stop that person. And most of the time, they don't know what the fuck they don't even know what to say in response. They're so concerned about not saying anything. I was on a walk a couple days ago when it was still nice out. All of a sudden, we're down to 30 degrees again, 25 degrees when we woke up. And I passed this couple, and I said, hey, great afternoon, you guys out here enjoying this weather. How are you? And the wife just kind of looked at me all shocked, they were walking their dog, like I just kicked their dog or something. And then the guy was like, and then he just walked away. And I was, all right, have a great day, guys. Like, what the fuck? Like, people can't even respond. People can't even have a conversation. But maybe they were just in a really bad spot. Maybe they were having an argument. Maybe something was going on. And because I said, great afternoon, have a great walk, enjoy the weather, guys, maybe a few hundred feet down the path, they started acting different. They started thinking different. I don't know. Is it my job to follow up on that and see what everybody else is doing and how they're living their life? Hell no. I got enough of my own doggone problems. I ain't worried about nobody else. But maybe, I could just be a light and not shed more darkness. And, I thought of another thing. I was in the gym yesterday, And, people like to talk. They like to conversate. They like to have a good time in the gym sometimes. And there was a couple of young ladies sitting over at the hammy curl, and they were going back and forth. They were taking their time in between sets, but nobody was really using the fucker. There was nobody really else in the area. So, and they were noticing that. They were doing their thing. One of them hit the set, they talk a little bit. The next one hit a set, they talk a little bit. They weren't in there crushing or anything, but they were doing their thing. And I was just happened to be looking over in that direction, and I saw this older gentleman, I'll say in his 60s, say something to him, and he was like wagging his finger at him. Like, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I couldn't help but notice. I was just like, what the fuck was that? And the girls, the looks on their faces, they just like cowered. And you could just see the uncomfortability, the energy, the good vibe they had that they were talking. And two girlies that maybe hadn't seen each other for a while, all of a sudden now they were, and they walked over to another machine and they felt really uncomfortable. And they ended up just leaving the gym. They left from there. I saw them pick up their shit and they walked out the door. And that guy walked by me and I said, hey, bud. He kind of looked over at me, scowl on his face. And I said, now correct me if I'm wrong, but you didn't just go over to those two young ladies and reprimand them for having a conversation and enjoying themselves on a day like today, and then not even use the machine that you were bitching about them sitting on talking, did you? And he looked at me and he said, oh, it drives me crazy. I said, oh, you didn't answer my question. It drives me crazy too when people are standing around, not working, not doing anything. But I happen to watch those young ladies and they weren't. But you decided you had to take it upon them to dull their shine, to take away from their energy. And he rolled his eyes at me. And I said, no. How dare you have the audacity? Who do you think you are? Do you own this gym? Are you somebody important? Are you somebody that needs to go around telling everybody how they're in the wrong? I'll remind you of this. Maybe the speck in other people's eyes are not as important as the plank sticking out of yours. And he looked at me and his damn jaw about hit the floor, rolled his eyes again, yeah, whatever, and walked away. Now, maybe he thinks twice about the next time before he says something stupid to somebody just trying to live their life. And maybe he said something so fucking stupid that those two girls never come in the gym again. That those two girls never continue to work on their physical health. That they now start to go down a rabbit hole, and in 2 months, 3 months, who knows where those two girls could be. But because somebody decided that they had to just say something, they had to say how somebody else was in the wrong, they had to point their fingers, somebody else's life might have got worse. How dare you? Who do you think you are? The audacity you have to leave somebody worse than when you found him. And if you see somebody do that, you notice I didn't cuss him and yell at him, call him a stupid piece of shit. Call people out. Hey, bub, you notice that plank in your eye? Maybe stop worrying about the speck. You're wearing jeans and a button-up in the gym. I know you're not doing shit. What are we talking about right now? Who's to say, who's to know? Leave people better than you found them. Trip my trigger there. Shout out to me. Who else we got, D's? Damn, I'm going down rabbit holes left, right, and center this morning. Mrs. Metal Crazy. Oh, gotta come up. I feel like that little meme. Oh, how's it going? Mrs. Metal, great morning, fam. Today's reminder is you glow differently when your confidence is fueled by a belief in yourself instead of needing validation from others. Now go be great in their face on purpose. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's just, I've been thinking about that, of just believe in you, believe in what you're doing, and just try to be changed. Just try to be the change. Try to be the light through what you're doing, and those people will be impacted. You don't need the validation. If somebody's making you feel less than, if somebody's making you feel like you don't measure up to the mark when you know you do, when you know you believe in you, you know you've been putting in the effort and they still don't see that effort, stop trying to convince them of it. Just go do the effort and let them watch. Who's to say, who's to know? Shout out Mrs. Metal. Man, Great perspective on this show. Woohoo! A lot of things I've been thinking about. Shout out to you, young lady. Brian Live Dog Livingston had a fantastic convo with that guy last night. Man, this guy's he's got a life going on right now. Let me tell you what. Shout out Live Doggy Dog, GM Diamond Handers. Appreciate the hell out of you, brother. Thanks for always taking some time for me, no matter what you got going on. Udabomb.com, my guy. Shout out to Live Dog. If you don't know, you won't know. Her world of makeup, the beautiful Miss Gabrielle. Mrs. G. Lou, if you don't know, you won't know. GM fam. Great morning to you, Mrs. G. Lou. Shout out to you. Appreciate you being live in prime time. Give our girl Her World of Makeup a subscription, too. She be doing some shit. I mean, I don't know how she got all the time. Sometimes she be doing some stuff. She got like a doggone crown and jewels everywhere and 32 different colors. And I'm like, how the hell did you have time to even do that? And then she makes a whole content about it and tells you how to do it yourself. I'm telling you what, this chick knows a thing or two about some makeups and brushes and some blushes and some foundations. Who's to say, who's to know? Shout out Mrs. G. Lou. Oh, the other half, the worst half of that amazing couple, Mr. G. Lou. Great morning, Mr. Clue. Always great to see you, my brother. Hope you're having a solid start to the day down there in AR, crushing that game, baby. Who else we got out there today? D's, the man, the myth, the legend, stacking chips, DFS Joshua. Every day you wake up, it's your choice who you want to be. Damn straight, my guy. We all wake up with a chance and a choice. What are you going to do with it? You got a chance to suck down some air, open two gifts, see this reality. What are you going to do with it? What's your choice? Who are you going to be? You going to be that Tigger? You going to be that Eeyore? You going to shine bright, or you going to bring the storm clouds? You going to be different and realize that you're of the universe and you can do whatever you want? You're going to be like everybody else and just be in the universe and letting it happen to you instead of directing it and making it happen through you. Yeah. Shout out, Josh. Appreciate you, my guy. Thanks for tuning in live in prime time. Albright's Fur Farm, our good friends over there, the legendary Mr. Jared Albright himself. Great morning, everyone. Great morning to you, good sir. Hope you're having a solid start to the day. Always great to see you live in the chat. Kim Jones, Mama Capp with a little business perspective. In my 35 years in business, I did not take lunch hour breaks. I would meet on a business lunch occasionally. Didn't realize I was locked into my success. It was just in me to make it work. Shout out to you, Mama Bear. Absolutely. I'm on the same tip. I don't take lunch and breaks. I'm eating and back to it. I'm here. I'm not. People take an hour, 2 hours, scroll through social media, waste their time. Oh, I got to eat. I got to take a lunch. Put the shit in your body and get back to work. What the heck are we talking about? Shout out Mama Bear. 35 years. Whew! Shout out. Crypto Savage, the man, the myth, the legend, always bringing that truth and fire. Love it. Appreciate you, my brother. It is what I've been blessed with. Blessed and highly favored to have this gift, my man. And sometimes I just black out. And I just let the words come, go, and flow. And wherever it may slide, I hope you catch the vibe. So I'm glad you did, my man. Glad you're here. Always great to see you, Crypto Savage. Appreciate you starting your day the right way, brother, man. Thanks for your kind words. You the bomb. In progress, the man, the myth, the legend, my boy IP. What up, gangster? Couple of fires in the chat. Shout out to you, my boy. Hope you're having a solid start to the day. JK Big Time just had a convo. The topic was, are you living a life that people expect you to live, or are you living the life you truly want? Can of worms opened. So what I'm talking about, man, are you doing the things you want, or are you doing the things you know? Are you putting your energy into that thing, or are you getting advice from somebody else of what they think you need to do? I'm telling you, all the advice in the world will never help you until you take the actions you know you need to. Live the life you want to. Live the life that brings you fulfillment, you purpose. Put your oxygen mask on first, and then through that example, others will do the same thing. You don't have to try to create the change if you just choose to change yourself, because then others will see who want to measure up, who want to level up, who want to get to that same frequency. So they'll start doing what you do. And then all of a sudden, our lives start to change. Our families' lives start to change. Our communities start to change. The whole damn world starts to change. Maybe if we could just do that, we wouldn't have a tenth of the problems that we have in today's society. Thanks for those thoughts, Mr. Big Time. Appreciate you. Shout out to all you beautiful human beings live in prime time in the chat. We appreciate the hell out of you starting your day the right way here at Forge and Fuel, baby. But that's all the knowledge and insights we got coming your way. However, we do have a couple of reminders for you, friends and family. Number one, if you'd like to get more involved with the Diamond Hand fam, if you love these knowledge, these insights, and you're saying, damn, I need a network who thinks this way, who wants me to succeed, who wants me to do what I need to do, and can give me the knowledge and insights to help me overcome those obstacles and turn them into opportunities, well, join us in the Gateway. Your gateway for the future of mental, physical, and financial growth. Our all-in-one resource and community hub here at the Diamond Hand Media Group. It doubles kind of as a Patreon for our shows. As you heard yesterday, people were able to ask questions to John Gaston. Also doubles as our network and all types of other things that we got going on over there. So if you're tired of the same old community, the same old network, the same old bullshit, come join us. And just as a matter of fact, we got a bi-weekly, no, it's actually a monthly now. We changed that. Monthly networking meeting this Thursday. We're kicking off a new month. We're diving down a rabbit hole. We got all sorts of updates for DHMG. We're going to hear from friends and family. We got all sorts of things to cover. So, did I mention there's a 7-day free trial to the Gateway? So you can get in, test out the platform, especially right now, get the full benefits all the way to the meeting, all the insights, all the knowledge, everything we got going on right now and the future. Check it out for 7 days for free, and then see if you want to become a full-time member of the family. And my friends, one thing we will be talking about at this week's networking meeting is our annual event, the J&J Weekend Getaway. And my friends, if you don't know what the J&J Weekend Getaway is, it is a 3-day, all-out, all-inclusive networking event. Like a networking event you have never been to before. We have entertainment, we have games, we have exploration, endless networking. And when I say all-inclusive, I mean all-inclusive. I have been to networking events over and over again where I pay a price for a ticket and then I got to go buy food. I got to go buy drinks. I got to worry about my transportation. I got to worry about parking. I got to worry about all this other shit on top of the ticket price, and it ends up being way more than I wanted to spend. What if somebody saw those problems and created an event with the exact solutions? And what if that kid was only 29 years old? And what if that kid was me? And what if he would love nothing more to see all of you, friends, family, those who get fired up from this show, those who have begun to attain new mindsets live in prime time in Chicago? I would love nothing more than to see you guys at Friday's events, having all the food, all the drink that you can want, having your transportation taken care of, having things being set that you just might not anticipated. My friends, we've really started to get this year's event really solidified. And it was not because of my doing. It was because I released control and I asked, what do you want me to do? And really, without any effort of mine, the whole event has essentially come together. And I am kind of in awe of where it is. And as I sit back and we talked last night, me and Deez, and looked over some things, the value that we are able to provide this year through just letting go and watching things happen and just making the next right call, the next right move, the next right connection, things are really starting to happen. And boy, oh boy, would I love to see you guys at the J&J Weekend Getaway. So if you're wondering more, like, okay, I'm okay. That sounds kind of fun. All-inclusive networking event. Whoa. Keep your eyes peeled. This year, we're going to be rolling out social media platforms for the J&J Weekend Getaway, so you'll be able to see all the latest and greatest information. There'll be pictures coming out. There'll be all types of good shit. So keep your eyes peeled, your ears open. We are just about ready to release the information to the public. But I know I said a few things right there. I'm going to get real deep on Thursday night. I'm going to tell you guys everything. For those of you that are full-time members of the Gateway, tell you everything that's going on, everything I have planned, pricing structure, where we're at, everything in between. It's all pretty much figured out. Not pretty much. It is all figured out. It's ready to go. Just got to make some final little tweaks. And we got the 3rd annual J&J Weekend Getaway coming your way June 27th, 28th, and 29th. If you're looking for the links for the Gateway, here soon, maybe the Getaway, that will probably be in here as well. You can find that all in this episode's description. And while you're laughing looking at those links, maybe you could take a moment to hit a subscribe button, turn on a notification bell, maybe even crush a like button as well. Help that algo go and flow. What I'm trying to tell you, if you could just take a moment before we close out this show to smash the shit out of whatever button you see on your screen, as it only helps us continue to grow and flow and make this show and all the shows that fall under the Diamond Hand Media Group umbrella bigger and better for each and every one of you. But my friends, that's all we've got coming your way on this terrific Tuesday. It's time to get on up and get on nah. Make like a banana and split. Make like a tree and leaf. Make like those geese and get the flock out. But not before we remind you of 3 more key and critical things. Number 1, even a 2-year-old can make an excuse. Number 2, even a dead fish can go with the flow. And number 3, being that this here show is a member of the Diamond Hand Media Group, I ask you keep in mind at DHMG, we don't only HOLD, we hold each other up. And right now is one hell of a time to flex those diamond hands. Shout out to each and every one of you flexing those diamond hands on a day in and day out, night in and night out basis. We appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for starting your day the right way here at Forge and Fuel, baby. Invest in your most valuable assets with us, your time and your attention. You could have invested them 1,000,001 other ways, and the fact that you chose to here, we are forever grateful. We'll pay that investment back to you, give you some high-quality ROI by showing up each and every day on the consistent, persistent pursuit of our passions and being right by your side while you pursue yours. But for now, my friends, it's time to get out of here. We remind you also that you are kind, you are smart, you are important, and you are loved. Have a TERRIFIC rest of your Tuesday, unless you have any other plans. We'll catch you on the flip side, maybe in another show, a live chat, maybe a Discord, a VC, a DM group chat, maybe even the Gateway, baby. Wherever we find you, wherever the paths cross again, you know what the vibes shall be. But until then, friends and family, we officially bid thee adieu. And we say unto you, peace and love.